Hey everybody, this is a proud cat lover, and today I'm just making a little update for Ash's future buyer. Just kind of wanted to update you a little bit on how he's doing and whatnot, and I was going to show you what I was talking to you about the other day with feeding crickets and whatnot. Everyone else who's watching who is obviously not Ash's buyer can just enjoy the video, but I will of course be throwing in some tips for everybody to learn with. So I'm going to show you guys today on how to introduce crickets to a crested gecko who has never had crickets. Obviously, Ash has had crickets, and he's probably going to notice them sooner or later. I will say that if you do keep crickets in a setup, I have found that using terrarium moss, which I'm going to wet down now because it dries out pretty quickly in the container this is, I found that using terrarium moss in the tank helps a lot with the oils the crickets produce and kill each other with, because crickets produce an oil on their skin, and that's why they constantly die off, like immediately. So I've been testing different techniques out, and I have found so far that this moss here has helped them stay cleaner. Like, they will actually get in there and rub their bodies against it and stuff. He's already looking. He loves crickets. I will say real quick, it's always a good idea to just offer his treats. He has his Pangea here, which I will show you the thickness that I like to have it at, so you can see. Let me kind of use my hand here. You can see this is about the thickness that I have it at. It's kind of like a thicker ketchup consistency, but it's still smooth to where you can easily move it. And so I just hand feed him just because I like to keep track of how much my geckos are eating. But anyway, when you go to feed crickets, and I only have a few left because I need to buy some more soon, you will want to, when it's a first-time gecko, of course, let me move him, you'll want to remove the head because that entices the geckos to want to eat the cricket, because they can taste the insides. And let me try to catch one with my left hand. I'm not very coordinated with my left compared to my right. Okay, so here's a cricket, and I will show you, these are my blunt-tipped or dull-tipped tweezers. These are actually bug tweezers, and you can still kind of see the website, which is bioquip.com is the website. So what I like to do when I'm trying to get the cricket ready is I put the tweezers right around the neck, just like this, and I squeeze really hard, so it immediately, not completely kills them, I'm sure, but, you know, it pretty much does. So they remain limp like that. Of course, their muscle spasms will still cause them to twitch a little bit. So then, normally you will just pinch this area here to get the head off. You can kind of see how the head, well, maybe. Kind of see how the head is now detached from the body, and you can squeeze it, and it does that. That's what you want, because it's the juices that the gecko can taste that will entice them to eat it. So you can see here, he already is going to recognize the cricket and want to eat it, but you would normally put the juicy part up to the crested gecko's mouth or their nose, let them lick it, and then if they attack it, like he just did, then that means that they're definitely interested in the crickets. If they kind of swat at it with their hand or kind of shake their head like this, then that normally means they do not want to eat it. So, yes, I know you want to bite my hand because you're like, it's a cricket. I will say real quick, it does not hurt to be bit by a crested gecko. See, watch. It's like literally a little pinch before they realize it's, oh, that's not a cricket. But it also is a good way to get them to eat their food. Because you can shake it like this, and they're like, oh yeah, oh wait, that's not a cricket, that's just my food. But yeah, this is how I feed my crested geckos. I just have these little stir straws for coffee that I bought. But yeah, so this is how I feed my geckos. Get him a little bit more. Normally I'll give him some food, and then I'll give him another cricket just to kind of encourage him to not stop eating. Like, I want him to eat a decent amount, because obviously you don't want him to eat a little tiny bit and then him be hungry, because he gets fed every 2 days right now, because he is almost 30 grams. He's doing really good. He's really pretty and fired up right now too. See how pretty and dark he is. His crest is looking really pretty. He's just my little chunky boy. But yeah, we'll get him one more cricket, and this time of course I'm not going to bother taking the head off because you guys don't need to see that. That is only necessary if you have a gecko that has not tasted cricket before. Okay, and somehow I managed to catch it by the antenna, so let me pause this real quick. So I will say real quick, I still do like to squeeze them around the neck to incapacitate them. Oh my gosh! A little bit, because I don't like the fact that they sometimes will try to bite at the gecko, and those little dark areas around their mouth there, or their teeth, or their mandibles. And I don't like it that they try to bite my geckos sometimes, so I just do that to incapacitate them. Sometimes I like to make it to where it's fun for the geckos so they can chase their food by doing that. Sometimes they will like shake their head when they're eating. It's hilarious, like a cat does. But yeah, so I'm not going to make this video too long. I just wanted the buyer of Ash to be able to see how he's doing, kind of show you how I feed him and stuff, and how good of an eater he is. And of course, he is pretty good with being handled. He does not mind being picked up and pet. I will say that with my geckos, all of my babies, I've got them to where they don't care if you touch their tail, because I obviously do not want my geckos to drop their tails. So as long as you're obviously not pinching them or pulling on them, you could even come up and just lift your hand up like this. He does not care at all. Boop! Just like that. Because from the time they were babies, that's how I would pick them up if I couldn't get them to like sit still. If they were like in a spot where I couldn't scoop them up from under the belly like this, I would just come under the tail and I would just gently lift, and they would just lift their bodies up, because for them that's not threatening. You're just kind of putting your hand there, just kind of lifting just like that. So yeah, anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Rose here's checking out the crickets. Gotta flip that back over. Normally I will feed my crickets vegetables, but whenever I have leftover food from the geckos, I will put it on the top of the egg cartons to let them eat it, because they can eat all the vitamins and stuff in here. I don't dust my crickets because this is pure calcium. It's a cuttle bone from the bird aisle in the pet store, and that's what I give them, and that helps them to shed properly, as well as of course keeping the humidity up in here. So every night I spray in this tank. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed. Hope this was informative. Anyway, thank you for watching, and have a good rest of your day.